Solutions to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh countries. Water and land resources are essential for agricultural production and food security, particularly in regions with harsh climatic conditions. However, many countries face challenges in optimizing the use of these resources, due to factors such as water scarcity, soil degradation, and climate change. In this essay, we will explore various solutions to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. Implement efficient irrigation systems. One of the most effective ways to optimize the use of water resources in harsh environments is to implement efficient irrigation systems. This can include drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, and other precision irrigation methods that deliver water directly to the roots of crops. By reducing water loss through evaporation and transpiration, efficient irrigation systems can significantly increase water use efficiency and improve crop yields. Improve soil health. Improving soil health is essential for optimizing land resources in harsh environments. This can be achieved through practices such as conservation tillage, crop rotation, and intercropping, which help to retain moisture in the soil and reduce erosion. Additionally, adding organic matter to the soil, such as compost and manure, can improve soil structure and fertility, which can increase crop yields and reduce the need for synthetic fertilizers. Use climate-smart agriculture practices. Climate-smart agriculture practices can also help to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. This can include practices such as rainwater harvesting, agroforestry, and integrated crop livestock systems, which help to conserve water and improve soil health. Additionally, using drought-resistant crop varieties and planting crops that are well adapted to local climatic conditions can increase resilience to climate change and reduce the risk of crop failure. Invest in water storage and management infrastructure. Investing in water storage and management infrastructure is essential for optimizing the use of water resources in harsh environments. This can include building dams, reservoirs, and other water storage facilities, as well as improving water distribution systems and reducing water loss through leakage. Additionally, managing water resources at the watershed level, through practices such as water harvesting and groundwater recharge, can help to ensure that water resources are used efficiently and sustainably. Promote sustainable land use practices. Promoting sustainable land use practices can help to optimize the use of land resources in harsh environments. This can include practices such as afforestation, reforestation, and land restoration, which help to improve soil health and biodiversity. Additionally, promoting sustainable grazing practices and reducing the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides can help to reduce soil degradation and improve the quality of land resources. Encourage sustainable consumption patterns. Encouraging sustainable consumption patterns is also essential for optimizing the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. This can include promoting diets that are based on locally grown and seasonal foods, reducing food waste, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices among consumers. By reducing demand for resource-intensive foods and promoting sustainable consumption patterns, the industry can reduce pressure on water and land resources and improve the overall sustainability of food production. Provide education and training for farmers. Providing education and training for farmers is also essential for optimizing the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. By providing farmers with information about sustainable agricultural practices, water management, and soil health, they can improve their productivity and profitability while reducing their environmental impact. Additionally, providing access to financial resources, such as loans and grants, can help farmers to invest in new technologies and infrastructure that improve their efficiency and sustainability. In conclusion, optimizing the use of water and land resources in harsh environments requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the various challenges and opportunities facing the industry. By implementing solutions such as efficient irrigation systems, improving soil health, using climate-smart agriculture practices, investing in water storage and management infrastructure, promoting sustainable land use practices, encouraging sustainable consumption patterns, and providing education and training. For farmers, the industry can create a more sustainable and resilient future for all stakeholders. Use sustainable energy sources. Using sustainable energy sources can also help to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. This can include using solar or wind energy to power irrigation systems, as well as using biomass or biogas to generate energy for agricultural production. By reducing reliance on fossil fuels and promoting renewable energy sources, the industry can reduce its carbon footprint and improve the overall sustainability of water and land use practices. Enhance technology adoption. Enhancing technology adoption can also help to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. This can include using precision agriculture technologies, such as satellite imaging and soil sensors, to optimize irrigation and fertilizer application. Additionally, using mobile applications and other digital tools can help farmers to access information about weather patterns, market prices, and agricultural practices, which can improve their productivity and profitability. Encourage collaboration and cooperation. Finally, encouraging collaboration and cooperation among stakeholders can help to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. This can include working with local communities, NGOs, and government agencies to develop sustainable water and land use policies and programs. Additionally, promoting knowledge sharing and best practices among farmers, researchers, and other stakeholders can help to improve the efficiency and sustainability of agricultural production. In conclusion, optimizing the use of water and land resources in harsh environments is essential for ensuring food security and promoting sustainable development. By implementing solutions such as using efficient irrigation systems, improving soil health, using climate-smart agriculture practices, investing in water storage and management infrastructure, promoting sustainable land use practices, encouraging sustainable consumption patterns, providing education and training for farmers, using sustainable energy sources, enhancing technology adoption, and encouraging collaboration and cooperation, the industry can create a more sustainable and resilient future for all stakeholders. Promote gender equality in agriculture. Promoting gender equality in agriculture can also help to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. Women play a critical role in agricultural production, particularly in developing countries, where they make up a significant proportion of the agricultural workforce. However, women often face unequal access to resources, such as land, credit, and technology, which can limit their productivity and profitability. By promoting gender equality in agriculture and ensuring that women have equal access to resources and opportunities, the industry can improve productivity and sustainability. Establish effective water governance. Establishing effective water governance is essential for optimizing the use of water resources in harsh environments. This can include developing policies and regulations that promote sustainable water use, as well as establishing institutions and mechanisms for managing water resources at the local, regional, and national levels. Additionally, promoting stakeholder participation and engagement in water governance can help to ensure that water use is managed in a transparent and equitable manner. Use agroecological approaches. Using agroecological approaches can also help to optimize the use of water and land resources in harsh environments. Agroecology is a holistic approach to agriculture that focuses on creating diverse, resilient, and sustainable farming systems. By using agroecological approaches, farmers can reduce their reliance on synthetic inputs, increase biodiversity. Types of coffee grown and used are popular in the world. Common types of coffee grown and used around the world. Coffee is one of the most popular beverages in the world, with millions of people enjoying a cup of coffee every day. Coffee is grown in many countries around the world, and there are many different types of coffee beans that are used to make a variety of coffee drinks. In this article, we will explore some of the most common types of coffee grown and used around the world. Arabica coffee. Arabica coffee is the most widely grown and consumed type of coffee in the world. It is grown primarily in Latin America, Africa, and Asia, and is known for its mild, sweet taste and low acidity. Arabica coffee beans are oval-shaped and have a deep, rich flavor that is often described as fruity or floral. Arabica coffee is often used to make specialty coffee drinks such as cappuccinos and lattes. Robusta coffee. Robusta coffee is the second most widely grown type of coffee in the world, and is primarily grown in Africa and Asia. Robusta coffee beans are smaller and rounder than Arabica coffee beans, and have a stronger, more bitter flavor. Robusta coffee is often used in blends with Arabica coffee to provide a more robust flavor and higher caffeine content. Liberica coffee. Liberica coffee is a rare and exotic type of coffee that is grown primarily in Asia and Africa. Liberica coffee beans are large and irregularly shaped, with a distinctive, smoky flavor that is often described as woody or earthy. Liberica coffee is not as widely consumed as Arabica or Robusta coffee, but is prized by coffee connoisseurs for its unique flavor profile. Excelsa coffee. Excelsa coffee is a type of coffee that is often grouped with Liberica coffee, as it is also grown primarily in Asia and has a similar flavor profile. Excelsa coffee beans are elliptical in shape and have a tart, fruity flavor that is often used to balance out the bitterness of Robusta coffee in blends. Kona coffee. Kona coffee is a type of Arabica coffee that is grown exclusively in the Kona district of Hawaii. Kona coffee is known for its smooth, rich flavor and low acidity, and is often described as one of the best coffees in the world. Kona coffee is a high-end specialty coffee that is often used in gourmet coffee blends and is prized by coffee lovers for its unique flavor profile. In conclusion, coffee is a beloved beverage that is enjoyed by millions of people around the world. Whether you prefer the mild, sweet taste of Arabica coffee, the strong, bitter flavor of Robusta coffee, or the exotic flavor. Profiles of Liberica and Excelsa coffee. There is a type of coffee that is sure to please your taste buds. With its rich history and cultural significance, coffee is truly a beverage that brings people together and connects us to the world around us. In addition to the different types of coffee beans, there are also many different ways to prepare and enjoy coffee around the world. Some popular coffee drinks include espresso, a small, concentrated shot of coffee that is made by forcing hot water through finely ground coffee beans. Cappuccino, a coffee drink that is made with espresso, steamed milk, and a layer of froth milk on top. Latte, a coffee drink that is made with espresso and steamed milk, and is often flavored with syrups such as vanilla or caramel. Americano, a coffee drink that is made by adding hot water to a shot of espresso. Turkish coffee, a traditional coffee preparation method in which finely ground coffee beans are boiled in a special pot called a jezve. Vietnamese coffee, a coffee drink that is made with strong, dark roasted coffee and sweetened condensed milk. Café au lait, a coffee drink that is made with brewed coffee and steamed milk. In addition to these popular coffee drinks, there are also many different ways to enjoy coffee at home, such as using a French press or pour-over method. Moreover, the coffee industry has a significant impact on the global economy, providing employment and income for millions of people around the world. Coffee is a major export crop for many developing countries, and the industry is often a key driver of economic growth and development. However, the coffee industry also faces many challenges, such as climate change, low prices, and labor issues. As consumers, we can help to support sustainable and ethical coffee production by choosing coffee that is certified by organizations such as Fairtrade, Rainforest Alliance, and UTZ. In conclusion, coffee is a beloved beverage that has a rich history and cultural significance around the world. From the mild, sweet flavor of Arabica coffee to the strong, bitter flavor of Robusta coffee, there is a type of coffee for everyone. Whether enjoyed as a simple cup of brewed coffee or as a specialty coffee drink, coffee is a beverage that brings people together and connects us to the world around us. Furthermore, coffee has also been shown to have some health benefits when consumed in moderation. Studies have suggested that coffee consumption may be linked to a reduced risk of several health conditions, including type 2 diabetes, liver disease, and some types of cancer. Coffee is also a rich source of antioxidants, which can help to protect the body against damage from free radicals. However, it is important to note that excessive coffee consumption can have negative effects on health, such as increasing the risk of anxiety, insomnia, and heart disease. Moreover, coffee can also be a source of added sugars and calories when consumed with sweeteners and syrups, which can contribute to weight gain and other health problems. To maximize the health benefits of coffee and minimize the risks, it is recommended to consume coffee in moderation and without added sugars or syrups. Drinking coffee black or with a small amount of milk or unsweetened plant-based milk is a healthier option than adding sugar or syrups. Choosing organic and fair trade coffee can also be a way to support sustainable and ethical coffee production while minimizing exposure to harmful pesticides and chemicals. In addition to its health benefits and cultural significance, coffee also plays an important role in social and economic interactions around the world. Coffee shops and cafes are popular places for socializing and meeting friends, and the coffee industry provides employment and income for millions of people in developing countries. In conclusion, coffee is a complex and multifaceted beverage that has a rich history, cultural significance, and many health benefits. Whether enjoyed as a simple cup of brewed coffee or as a specialty coffee drink, coffee is a beverage that brings people together and connects us to the world around us. By consuming coffee in moderation and choosing sustainable and ethical coffee options, we can enjoy the many benefits of this beloved beverage while also supporting a healthier and more equitable world. Moreover, the coffee industry has also faced several challenges related to sustainability and environmental impact. Coffee production is a resource-intensive process that requires large amounts of water, energy, and land. Deforestation, soil erosion, and water pollution are some of the environmental consequences of coffee production, which can have negative impacts on local ecosystems and communities. To address these challenges, there has been a growing movement towards sustainable and eco-friendly coffee production practices. Sustainable coffee production aims to minimize the negative environmental and social impacts of coffee production, while also ensuring the long-term viability and profitability of the industry. Some examples of sustainable coffee production practices include shade-grown coffee. Shade-grown coffee is grown under a canopy of trees, which helps to protect the soil, reduce erosion, and provide habitat for wildlife. Consumption and impact on local ecological environment. Pepper cultivation has long been a significant source of income for many farmers in Vietnam, particularly in the Central Highlands region. However, the expansion of pepper cultivation has also had significant impacts on the local ecosystem, including deforestation, soil erosion, and water pollution. One of the main environmental impacts of pepper cultivation is deforestation. Many farmers have cleared forests and other natural ecosystems to make way for pepper plantations, which has resulted in the loss of biodiversity and the degradation of ecosystem services. Deforestation can also lead to soil erosion, which can have negative impacts on water quality and contribute to downstream flooding. In addition to deforestation, pepper cultivation can also lead to soil degradation and depletion of nutrients. The intensive use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides can degrade soil health and reduce its ability to support plant growth. This can lead to a decline in crop yields and contribute to long-term soil degradation. Furthermore, the intensive use of chemical inputs in pepper cultivation can also lead to water pollution. Runoff from pepper plantations can carry chemical fertilizers and pesticides into rivers and other water bodies, which can have negative impacts on aquatic ecosystems and water quality. To address these environmental impacts, the Vietnamese government has implemented policies and programs to promote sustainable pepper cultivation practices. This includes the promotion of organic farming practices and the establishment of regulations on the use of chemical inputs in agriculture. The government has also implemented policies to promote sustainable land use practices, such as agroforestry and conservation agriculture, which can help to reduce the environmental impacts of pepper cultivation. Furthermore, the government has also recognized the importance of promoting sustainable forest management in the region. Forests provide critical ecosystem services, such as carbon sequestration, water regulation, and biodiversity conservation. To promote sustainable forest management, the government has implemented policies and programs to protect forests, promote reforestation, and support sustainable forest management practices. In addition to these policies, there are also initiatives from the private sector and civil society to promote sustainable pepper cultivation practices. For example, some companies are working with farmers to promote sustainable farming practices, such as the use of organic fertilizers and the reduction of chemical inputs. Civil society organizations are also working to raise awareness about the environmental impacts of pepper cultivation and promote sustainable land use practices. In conclusion, pepper cultivation has significant impacts on the local ecosystem in Vietnam, including deforestation, soil degradation, and water pollution. To address these impacts, the government has implemented policies and programs to promote sustainable pepper cultivation practices and sustainable forest management. By continuing to invest in these initiatives and working with the private sector and civil society, Vietnam can promote a more sustainable and resilient agricultural sector that benefits farmers, consumers, and the environment. Another important environmental impact of pepper cultivation in Vietnam is the loss of biodiversity. The expansion of pepper plantations has resulted in the loss of natural habitats for many native plant and animal species. This can have negative impacts on the long-term productivity and sustainability of the agricultural sector, as well as on the overall health of the ecosystem. To address the loss of biodiversity, the Vietnamese government has implemented policies and programs to promote the conservation of natural habitats and the restoration of degraded ecosystems. This includes the establishment of protected areas, the promotion of reforestation and afforestation, and the support of sustainable land use practices. Furthermore, the government has recognized the importance of promoting the use of agroforestry systems in pepper cultivation. Agroforestry involves the integration of trees into traditional agricultural systems, which can promote biodiversity, enhance soil health, and provide additional sources of income for farmers. By promoting the use of agroforestry systems in pepper cultivation, the government can help to reduce the environmental impacts of pepper cultivation and promote sustainable land use practices. Additionally, the government has also recognized the importance of promoting sustainable water management in pepper cultivation. Water is a critical resource for agriculture, and unsustainable water use practices can have negative impacts on both the environment and the long-term productivity of the agricultural sector. To promote sustainable water management, the government has implemented policies and programs to improve water use efficiency and reduce water pollution. This includes the promotion of water-saving technologies, the establishment of irrigation systems, and the implementation of regulations on the use of water in agriculture. In conclusion, pepper cultivation has significant environmental impacts in Vietnam, including the loss of biodiversity, deforestation, and water pollution. To address these impacts, the government has implemented policies and programs to promote sustainable pepper cultivation practices and sustainable land use practices. By continuing to invest in these initiatives and working with the private sector and civil society, Vietnam can promote a more sustainable and resilient agricultural sector that benefits farmers, consumers, and the environment. Another important environmental impact of pepper cultivation in Vietnam is the contribution to climate change. Agriculture is a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, particularly through the use of fossil fuels. For machinery and the production and application of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. To address the contribution of pepper cultivation to climate change, the Vietnamese government has implemented policies and programs to promote sustainable agriculture practices that reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This includes the promotion of organic farming practices, which can reduce the use of chemical inputs and promote soil health, as well as the promotion of agroforestry systems, which can sequester carbon and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Furthermore, the government has also recognized the importance of promoting renewable energy in agriculture. The use of renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote sustainable agriculture practices. In addition, the government has implemented policies and programs to promote climate-smart agriculture, which involves the integration of climate change adaptation and mitigation strategies into agricultural practices. This includes the promotion of drought-resistant crops, the use of water-saving technologies, and the implementation of sustainable land use practices that can help to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote climate resilience. Finally, the government has also recognized the importance of promoting sustainable consumption and production patterns. Consumer demand for sustainable and environmentally friendly products can help to drive the adoption of sustainable agricultural practices and reduce the environmental impacts of pepper cultivation. In conclusion, pepper cultivation in Vietnam has significant environmental impacts, including contributions to deforestation, soil degradation, water pollution, loss of biodiversity, and climate change. To address these impacts, the Vietnamese government has implemented policies and programs to promote sustainable agriculture practices, renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, and sustainable consumption and production patterns. By continuing to invest in these initiatives and working with the private sector and civil society, Vietnam can promote a more Introduction. Pepper, or black pepper, is one of the most widely used spices in the world and is an important source of income for many small-scale farmers in developing countries. In addition to its use as a spice, pepper is also used in the production of other commercial products such as pepper oil and tea. In this essay, we will explore the history and cultivation of pepper, as well as the production and uses of pepper oil and tea. History and cultivation of pepper. Pepper has been used as a spice for thousands of years and was highly valued in ancient times for its medicinal properties. Pepper is native to the Indian subcontinent and was traded along the spice routes between India and Europe for centuries. Pepper is a tropical crop that requires warm and humid conditions to grow. Pepper is typically grown as a perennial vine, with the vines growing up to 10 meters in length. Pepper plants require support to climb and are often grown on trellises or poles. Pepper plants produce small white flowers that develop into berries, which are harvested when they turn red. Pepper is grown in many countries around the world, including India, Indonesia, Brazil, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. India is the largest producer and exporter of pepper, followed by Vietnam and Indonesia. Production and uses of pepper oil. Pepper oil is a commercial product that is extracted from pepper berries. Pepper oil is used in a variety of applications, including aromatherapy, perfumes, and as a flavoring agent in food products. Pepper oil is typically extracted through steam distillation of dried pepper berries. The oil is pale yellow in color and has a spicy, woody aroma. Pepper oil has several medicinal properties and is used in traditional medicine to treat a variety of ailments, including respiratory infections, digestive disorders, and arthritis. Pepper oil is also used in aromatherapy to promote relaxation and relieve stress. Production and uses of pepper tea. Pepper tea is a beverage that is made from the leaves of the pepper plant. Pepper tea is popular in many countries around the world, including India, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia. Pepper tea is typically made by steeping the leaves of the pepper plant in hot water for several minutes. The tea has a spicy, aromatic flavor and is often consumed as a digestive aid. Pepper tea has several health benefits, and is believed to help with digestion, boost immunity, and improve respiratory function. Pepper tea is also believed to have antioxidant properties and may help to reduce the risk of certain diseases. Conclusion: pepper is an important spice that has been used for thousands of years. In addition to its use as a spice, pepper is also used in the production of other commercial products such as pepper oil and tea. Pepper oil has several medicinal properties and is used in aromatherapy and traditional medicine. Pepper tea is a popular beverage that is consumed in many countries around the world and has several health benefits. The cultivation and production of pepper are important sources of income for small-scale farmers in developing countries. Challenges and opportunities in the pepper industry. The pepper industry faces several challenges, including climate change, pests and diseases, and market fluctuations. Climate change is a major threat to pepper production, as rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns can affect the quality and yield of pepper crops. Pests and diseases, such as the pepper weevil and black pepper disease, can also cause significant damage to pepper crops. Market fluctuations are another challenge facing the pepper industry, as prices can be volatile and unpredictable. In addition, the global pepper market is highly competitive, with many producers vying for market share. Despite these challenges, the pepper industry also presents several opportunities. The growing demand for organic and sustainable products presents an opportunity for producers to differentiate themselves and capture a premium price for their products. In addition, the increasing popularity of pepper oil and tea presents a new market for pepper producers to explore. To capitalize on these opportunities, pepper producers must adopt sustainable and environmentally friendly practices, such as organic farming and agroforestry. Producers must also invest in research and development to develop new varieties of pepper that are resistant to pests and diseases and can withstand the impacts of climate change. Conclusion. In conclusion, the pepper industry is an important source of income for many small-scale farmers in developing countries. The cultivation and production of pepper face several challenges, including climate change, pests and diseases, and market fluctuations. However, the pepper industry also presents several opportunities, including the growing demand for organic and sustainable products and the increasing popularity of pepper oil and tea. To ensure the long-term sustainability of the pepper industry, producers must adopt sustainable and environmentally friendly practices and invest in research and development to meet the evolving needs of the market. Conclusion. Pepper is a versatile spice that has been used for thousands of years. In addition to its use as a spice, pepper is also used in the production of other commercial products, such as pepper oil and tea. The cultivation and production of pepper provide an important source of income for many small-scale farmers in developing countries. The pepper industry faces several challenges, including climate change, pests and diseases, and market fluctuations. However, the industry also presents several opportunities, such as the growing demand for organic and sustainable products and the increasing popularity of pepper oil and tea. To ensure the long-term sustainability of the pepper industry, producers must adopt sustainable and environmentally friendly practices, such as organic farming and agroforestry. Producers must also invest in research and development to develop new varieties of pepper that are resistant to pests and diseases and can withstand the impacts of climate change. In addition, there is a need for greater transparency and traceability in the pepper value chain to ensure that pepper is produced in an environmentally friendly and socially responsible manner. This can be achieved through the use of certification schemes, such as Fairtrade and Rainforest Alliance, and the promotion of digital technologies, such as blockchain, to improve transparency and traceability. Overall, the pepper industry has a bright future, but it is important for all stakeholders to work together to ensure its long-term sustainability and to promote the equitable distribution of benefits throughout the value chain. Promoting gender equality in the pepper industry. Gender inequality is a significant challenge in the pepper industry, as women often face barriers to accessing land, credit, and training opportunities. To address this challenge, there is a need to promote gender equality in the pepper industry. One solution is to provide women with equal access to resources and training opportunities. This can help to improve the productivity and quality of pepper production and ensure that women are able to fully participate in the pepper value chain. Another solution is to promote the participation of women in decision-making processes related to pepper production. Sustainable production technology in the cocoa industry. As the global demand for chocolate continues to rise, the cultivation of cocoa beans is becoming an increasingly important industry in many parts of the world. However, traditional cocoa farming practices often have negative environmental and social impacts, including deforestation, soil degradation, and the exploitation of farmers. In response to these challenges, there has been a growing interest in sustainable cocoa production, which seeks to balance economic, environmental, and social benefits. One key aspect of sustainable cocoa production is the use of technology to improve farming practices. For example, precision agriculture techniques can help farmers optimize their use of fertilizers and pesticides, reducing waste and minimizing environmental impacts. Similarly, remote sensing technologies can be used to monitor crop health and identify areas where intervention is needed, allowing farmers to respond quickly and efficiently to emerging challenges. Another important area of innovation is in the development of new cocoa varieties that are more resilient to pests and diseases, and which require less water and fertilizer. This can be achieved through genetic modification or through conventional breeding techniques, which can create hybrids that combine the best traits of different varieties. In addition to technological innovations, sustainable cocoa production also requires attention to social and economic factors. For example, fair trade and direct trade initiatives can help ensure that farmers receive fair prices for their crops and are not exploited by intermediaries. Similarly, efforts to improve working conditions and provide access to education and healthcare can help improve the quality of life for farmers and their families. Overall, sustainable cocoa production requires a holistic approach that considers the economic, environmental, and social impacts of cocoa farming. By leveraging technology and adopting best practices, farmers can reduce their environmental footprint, improve their yields, and enhance their livelihoods. At the same time, consumers can play an important role in supporting sustainable cocoa production. By choosing products that are certified as sustainable, and by advocating for greater transparency and accountability in the cocoa industry. One of the challenges of sustainable cocoa production is the high upfront costs associated with adopting new technologies and practices. This can be a barrier for small farmers, who may lack access to credit or other forms of financing. To address this challenge, governments and NGOs can provide support for sustainable cocoa initiatives through funding and technical assistance. In addition, partnerships between cocoa companies and farmer cooperatives can help ensure that farmers have access to the resources they need to adopt sustainable practices. Another important aspect of sustainable cocoa production is the preservation of biodiversity and ecosystem services. Cocoa farming is often associated with deforestation and habitat destruction, which can have negative impacts on local ecosystems and the communities that depend on them. To address this challenge, sustainable cocoa initiatives often include measures to protect and restore forests, and to promote agroforestry practices that integrate cocoa farming with other crops and trees. By preserving biodiversity and ecosystem services, sustainable cocoa farming can help support the long-term health and resilience of local ecosystems and communities. Finally, sustainable cocoa production also requires a commitment to continuous improvement and innovation. As new challenges emerge, and as consumer demands evolve, farmers and companies must remain flexible and adaptable, and be willing to explore new approaches and technologies. By doing so, they can help ensure that cocoa farming remains a viable and sustainable industry for generations to come. In conclusion, sustainable cocoa production is a complex and multifaceted challenge requiring a holistic approach that considers the economic, environmental, and social dimensions of cocoa farming. By leveraging technology, adopting best practices, and working collaboratively with farmers, governments, NGOs, and other stakeholders, the cocoa industry can move toward a more sustainable and resilient future. Where farmers can thrive, ecosystems can flourish, and consumers can enjoy delicious and ethically sourced chocolate. There are many examples of successful sustainable cocoa initiatives around the world. For instance, the Rainforest Alliance certification program has helped thousands of cocoa farmers adopt sustainable practices, while also providing consumers with a way to identify chocolate products that are produced with environmental and social responsibility in mind. Similarly, the Cocoa Life program, launched by Mondelez International, has set ambitious targets to promote sustainable cocoa farming and improve the livelihoods of cocoa farmers in Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, Indonesia, and other countries. In addition to these large-scale initiatives, there are many grassroots efforts to promote sustainable cocoa production, led by small-scale farmers and local communities. For example, the Kwapa Cocoa Cooperative in Ghana, which produces cocoa for the fair trade company Divine Chocolate, has implemented a range of sustainable farming practices, including agroforestry and organic farming. The cooperative also provides its members with access to education, healthcare, and other essential services, helping to improve their quality of life and strengthen their communities. Despite these successes, there is still much work to be done to make cocoa production truly sustainable and equitable. The cocoa industry remains plagued by issues such as child labor, low wages, and deforestation, which can be difficult to address through individual initiatives alone. To achieve lasting change, it will be important for stakeholders across the cocoa value chain to work together and to prioritize sustainability and social responsibility at every stage of the production process. In conclusion, sustainable cocoa production is an important and urgent challenge that requires a concerted and collaborative effort from all actors in the cocoa value chain. By adopting best practices, leveraging technology, and working together, we can create a more sustainable and equitable future for cocoa farming, while also ensuring that consumers can continue to enjoy delicious and ethically sourced chocolate for generations to come. Looking ahead, there are several trends and developments that are likely to shape the future of sustainable cocoa production. One of these is the growing demand for organic and specialty cocoa, which can command higher prices in the market and provide an incentive for farmers to adopt sustainable practices. In addition, the rise of direct trade and bean-to-bar chocolate makers is creating new opportunities for farmers to connect directly with consumers and to receive a greater share of the value chain. Another trend is the increasing use of data and digital tools in cocoa farming. For example, mobile applications and digital platforms can help farmers access information on weather patterns, market prices, and best practices, while also facilitating communication with buyers and other stakeholders. By harnessing the power of data and technology, farmers can make more informed decisions and improve their yields, while also reducing their environmental footprint. Finally, there is a growing recognition of the importance of gender equality in cocoa farming. Women play a critical role in cocoa production, yet they often face significant barriers to accessing land, credit, and other resources. By promoting gender equity and empowering women farmers, sustainable cocoa initiatives can help create more inclusive and resilient communities, while also driving economic growth and development. In conclusion, sustainable cocoa production is a vital and dynamic field that is constantly evolving and adapting to new challenges and opportunities. By staying at the forefront of innovation and best practices, and by working collaboratively with farmers, companies, coffee is one of the most valuable and widely consumed commodities in the world, and it is also an important source of income for millions of small-scale farmers around the world. However, the coffee sector also faces significant challenges related to intellectual property rights, particularly in relation to the protection of traditional knowledge and genetic resources. One of the main challenges facing the coffee sector is the unauthorized use and exploitation of traditional knowledge related to coffee cultivation and processing by outside actors. Traditional knowledge refers to the knowledge, practices, and innovations that are developed and passed down within a particular community or culture. Traditional knowledge related to coffee cultivation and processing is often held by small-scale farmers and indigenous communities, who have developed unique and highly specialized knowledge and practices over many generations. However, outside actors, such as multinational corporations and researchers, often seek to exploit this traditional knowledge without providing appropriate compensation or recognition to the communities that developed it. This can lead to the loss of traditional knowledge, as well as the loss of economic and cultural benefits for the communities that hold it. To address these challenges, the coffee sector has implemented policies and programs to promote the protection and recognition of traditional knowledge related to coffee cultivation and processing. This includes the establishment of intellectual property rights frameworks that recognize and protect traditional knowledge, as well as the promotion of fair trade and ethical sourcing practices that provide fair compensation and recognition to small-scale farmers and indigenous communities. Furthermore, the coffee sector has also recognized the importance of promoting the conservation and sustainable use of genetic resources related to coffee, such as wild coffee species and landraces. Genetic resources are the genetic material, such as seeds or tissue samples, that are used to develop new plant varieties or improve existing ones. The conservation and sustainable use of genetic resources can help to promote genetic diversity and resilience in the coffee sector, as well as support the adaptation of coffee to changing environmental conditions. To promote the conservation and sustainable use of genetic resources related to coffee, the coffee sector has implemented policies and programs to establish and maintain germplasm collections, which are collections of seeds or tissue samples from different coffee varieties. These collections can be used for research and breeding purposes, as well as for the conservation of genetic diversity. Additionally, the coffee sector has also recognized the importance of promoting the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from the use of genetic resources and traditional knowledge related to coffee. This includes the establishment of benefit sharing agreements that ensure that small-scale farmers and indigenous communities receive fair compensation and recognition for their contributions to the development and improvement of coffee varieties and cultivation practices. In conclusion, the coffee sector faces significant challenges related to the protection of intellectual property rights, particularly in relation to traditional knowledge and genetic resources. To address these challenges, the sector has implemented policies and programs to promote the protection and recognition of traditional knowledge, the conservation and sustainable use of genetic resources, and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from their use. By continuing to invest in these initiatives and working with the private sector and civil society, the coffee sector can promote a more sustainable and equitable coffee industry that benefits farmers, consumers, and the environment. In addition to promoting the protection of traditional knowledge and genetic resources, the coffee sector has also recognized the importance of promoting sustainable and environmentally friendly coffee production practices. Coffee production can have significant environmental impacts, including deforestation, soil degradation, and water pollution. To address these impacts, the coffee sector has implemented policies and programs to promote sustainable coffee production practices, such as organic farming, shade-grown coffee, and agroforestry. These practices can help to promote biodiversity, soil health, and water conservation, while also providing economic benefits for small-scale farmers. Furthermore, the coffee sector has also recognized the importance of promoting sustainable and transparent supply chains. Sustainable supply chains can help to ensure that coffee is produced in an environmentally and socially responsible manner, and that farmers receive fair compensation for their products. To promote sustainable and transparent supply chains, the coffee sector has implemented initiatives such as the Coffee and Farmer Equity (CAFE) Practices Program, which provides a set of sustainability standards that coffee farmers must meet to participate in the program. The program also provides training and support to farmers to help them meet these standards and improve the sustainability of their farming practices. Additionally, the coffee sector has also recognized the importance of promoting the rights and well-being of coffee farmers and workers. Coffee production is often characterized by low wages, poor working conditions, and labor exploitation, particularly for women and marginalized groups. To address these issues, the coffee sector has implemented policies and programs to promote the rights and well-being of coffee farmers and workers, such as Fair Trade Certification, which provides fair prices and working conditions for small-scale farmers, and gender equity programs, which promote the empowerment and equality of women in the coffee sector. In conclusion, the coffee sector faces significant challenges related to the protection of intellectual property rights, traditional knowledge, and genetic resources. To address these challenges, the sector has implemented policies and programs to promote the protection and recognition of traditional knowledge and genetic resources, as well as the promotion of sustainable and environmentally friendly coffee production practices, sustainable and transparent supply chains, and the rights and well-being of coffee farmers and workers. By continuing to invest in these initiatives and working with the private sector and civil society, the coffee sector can promote a more sustainable, equitable, and resilient coffee industry that benefits farmers, consumers, and the environment. In addition to promoting sustainable and environmentally friendly coffee production practices, the coffee sector has also recognized the importance of promoting sustainable consumption patterns among consumers. Consumer demand for sustainable and environmentally friendly products can help to drive the adoption of sustainable production practices and support the economic and social well-being of small-scale farmers. To promote sustainable consumption patterns, the coffee sector has implemented initiatives such as certification programs, eco-labeling, and consumer awareness campaigns. These initiatives provide consumers with information about the environmental and social impacts of coffee production and help them make informed choices about the coffee they consume. Furthermore, the coffee sector has also recognized the importance of promoting the circular economy in coffee production. The circular economy is an economic model that emphasizes the reuse and recycling of resources, rather than the linear model of production and consumption that leads to waste and environmental degradation. To promote the circular economy in coffee production, the coffee sector has implemented initiatives such as coffee waste recycling and the use of coffee byproducts in the production of biofuels, cosmetics, and other products. Coffee and future manufacturing challenges. Coffee is one of the most widely consumed beverages in the world, and the coffee industry is a major contributor to the global economy. However, the industry faces numerous challenges that threaten its sustainability and profitability in the future. In this essay, we will explore some of the key challenges facing the coffee industry and discuss potential solutions. Climate change. Climate change is one of the most significant challenges facing the coffee industry. Rising temperatures, changing rainfall patterns, and more frequent extreme weather events are all having a significant impact on coffee production. In some regions, coffee yields have already declined due to climate change, and the situation is expected to worsen in the coming years. In response, the industry needs to adopt climate-smart agriculture practices, such as planting more shade trees, developing drought-resistant coffee varieties, and improving water management. Low prices. Low coffee prices are also a major challenge facing the industry. Coffee prices have been volatile in recent years, and many farmers are struggling to make a living wage. This is particularly true for small-scale farmers in developing countries, who often lack access to credit and face high production costs. To address this challenge, the industry needs to develop more equitable and sustainable trade relationships, such as direct trade and fair trade, that provide farmers with a fair price for their coffee. Pests and diseases. Pests and diseases are a persistent challenge for coffee producers. Coffee leaf rust, for example, has devastated coffee crops in Central America in recent years, and other pests and diseases are also causing significant damage. To address this challenge, the industry needs to invest in research and development to develop new pest and disease-resistant coffee varieties, as well as promote integrated pest management practices that reduce reliance on pesticides. Water scarcity. Water scarcity is a growing challenge for the coffee industry, particularly in regions where water resources are already limited. Coffee production is a water-intensive process, and as water resources become more scarce, the industry may struggle to meet its water needs. To address this challenge, the industry needs to adopt more efficient water use practices, such as drip irrigation and rainwater harvesting, as well as invest in water storage and management infrastructure. Labor rights. Labor rights are also a significant challenge for the coffee industry. Many coffee producers rely on migrant workers, who often face poor working conditions and low wages. Additionally, child labor is still a significant problem in some coffee-producing countries. To address this challenge, the industry needs to promote fair labor practices and improve working conditions for coffee workers, as well as invest in education and training programs to help farmers and workers improve their productivity and profitability. Deforestation. Deforestation is a major challenge for the coffee industry, particularly in regions such as Brazil and Indonesia, where coffee production is a major driver of deforestation. Deforestation not only contributes to climate change but also threatens biodiversity and the livelihoods of local communities. To address this challenge, the industry needs to promote sustainable land use practices, such as agroforestry and shade-grown coffee, that prioritize the conservation of natural ecosystems. Consumer preferences. Consumer preferences are also a significant challenge for the coffee industry. Consumers are increasingly demanding sustainably produced coffee, and many are willing to pay a premium for coffee that is certified as organic, fair trade, or environmentally friendly. To address this challenge, the industry needs to respond to changing consumer preferences by adopting more sustainable production practices and promoting sustainable coffee brands and certifications. In conclusion, the coffee industry faces numerous challenges that threaten its sustainability and profitability in the future. To address these challenges, the industry needs to adopt more sustainable and equitable production practices. Invest in research and development, promote fair labor practices, and respond to changing consumer preferences. By doing so, the industry can create a more sustainable and equitable future for all stakeholders. Market volatility. Market volatility is another challenge facing the coffee industry. The coffee market is subject to fluctuations in supply and demand, as well as changes in currency exchange rates and global economic conditions. These fluctuations can make it difficult for coffee producers to plan and invest for the future. To address this challenge, the industry needs to develop more stable and predictable market mechanisms, such as price stabilization funds and futures contracts, that provide farmers with greater price stability and reduce their exposure to market volatility. Certification costs. Certification costs are a significant burden for many coffee producers, particularly small-scale farmers, who may not have the resources to obtain certifications such as organic or fair trade. These certifications can provide important market access and price premiums, but the costs of obtaining and maintaining them can be prohibitive. To address this challenge, the industry needs to develop more accessible and affordable certification programs, as well as provide technical assistance and training to help farmers meet certification requirements. Technology adoption. Technology adoption is also a challenge for the coffee industry, particularly in developing countries where access to technology may be limited. New technologies such as precision agriculture and mobile applications can help farmers to improve their productivity and profitability, but they require investment and training. To address this challenge, the industry needs to invest in technology transfer and extension services that help farmers to adopt new technologies and improve their efficiency. Supply chain transparency. Supply chain transparency is a growing concern for the coffee industry as consumers increasingly demand information about the origins and sustainability of the products they purchase. However, many coffee supply chains are complex and opaque, making it difficult to trace coffee from farm to cup. To address this challenge, the industry needs to promote greater transparency and accountability. In the coffee supply chain, such as through the use of blockchain technology and other traceability systems. COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has also had a significant impact on the coffee industry, disrupting global supply chains and reducing demand for coffee in many markets. The pandemic has also had a significant economic impact on coffee producers, particularly small-scale farmers who may lack access to financial support. To address this challenge, the industry needs to develop more resilient and diversified supply chains, as well as provide support and assistance to coffee producers affected by the pandemic. In conclusion, the coffee industry faces numerous challenges that threaten its sustainability and profitability in the future. To address these challenges, the industry needs to adopt more sustainable and equitable production practices, invest in research and development, promote fair labor practices, respond to changing consumer preferences, and develop more stable and predictable market mechanisms.